Well, welcome to Ball Seat. It's the Social Club. Paul's on his jollies this week, so I've been joined by Messrs Ped from Toffee TV and, of course, Ira from United People's TV. Look, at the moment, I think we all know that there is a load of United news, and that's what everything seems to be focusing on right now. So we're going to get stuck into it. We've just had confirmation that LVG has been sacked as manager of Manchester United after 2 years, or only 2 years into his 3-year deal. Ira, thoughts on that, mate?
Oh, I'm gutted, honestly. No, I'm joking. Yes, come on! I've been waiting all season for this because we've just been terrible. Like, and just in the past week, I'm just thinking to myself, you know what I mean? Like, what if he doesn't go? What if we have to like get put through another torrid season of backwards passing and 0-0s at half time and poor excuse after poor excuse
and
about
another trophy.
Sound like Devon.
But it was a good sign off for him, wasn't it? Winning the FA Cup.
Do you think he's been treated fairly though, really? I mean, I know you go to the game and you watch him and you watch that turgid football and stuff, but he has won a fair few games, you know, second most in win percentage for any United manager since the war, I believe.
Which war?
The Second World War, 51% win
in the Gulf
percentage
War
or something. I know Ferguson's been in charge for a lot of them and he's obviously top, but you know, he won more than Moyes. He won a trophy. You ended the season on a high. It did look like you could get fourth place. Do you think he's been seated fairly or not? Are you bothered at all?
Nah. As I said, the football's been bad. He spent 200 million. He's shown very little signs of improvement, really, as the season's gone on, and he just seems more and more erratic. It's like, you know, the other day when he said that, you know, that the expectation was too high. I mean, like Leicester have just won the Premiership. Leicester, little old Leicester.
They won the Premier League as well.
Well, we're going back to Carlin Premiership now. He's showing his age
I'm old
a bit
school.
here,
It's the Premiership.
What do you think, Ped, though? Like, you know, so it's very easy for us to sit here. We don't like Manchester United as a football club. We want them to do badly.
I don't mind Man United, that's all. Never minded Man United. Really? My half fellow used to say,
hate Newcastle.
The enemy of your... my dad used to say, the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
Probably wasn't just your dad,
no,
in fairness.
to be fair, I don't think he's made things... I don't think he's helped the situation, has he? He always creates this atmosphere in press conference. He's asked a question, suddenly he gets very defensive, and he's on the back foot. You only have to hear him at the cup final. I don't think it was right that the first thing they said to him was, you know, your future. He was like, well, you have had me sacked for 6 months. That relationship with the press is not very good, and it hasn't been good for a while. So the press are made up. The press will push the buttons because they know they've got a fella that they don't like. But I don't think he's helped that situation. He could have been a lot more relaxed in that situation. Went, listen, lads, I'm here to do my job, you know. But he hasn't. He's always got angry, and that has never helped the situation. In terms of Man United manager, listen, Moyes was on hiding to Nottingham when he came in, and then this fella's come in. And to be fair, I think it's more the money spent rather than the football they play. The money they spent is absolutely incredible. And to only have one FA Cup out of it is pretty awful. He's spent an absolute fortune. Yeah, and that's what people have got to remember. He spent that money he spent.
And I don't know where it's gone. As well.
And I don't know where that money's gone because the people he's got on the pitch now, his best player, well, the best player sort of to come from is Rain, and I might know better than me. It looks like Rashford.
He looks like he bought Martial at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. But he did spend a hell of a lot of money on him, and the lad's a hell of a player. I'm not going to argue. But Rashford looks like something, you know, that has been given to him on a plate. Whereas you look at people like Memphis, Jesus, Memphis. You know, the money he spent on him, and you would have thought coming out of Holland he'd be a lot more ready than he's shown.
What do you think, Ira, on the Rashford and those type of points? Do you think Memphis especially then, do you think he'll do better under another manager? Because he's quite stifling as a manager, isn't he, Van Gaal?
Well, yeah, Van Gaal's man management isn't the best. Like, you know, it's all coming out now in the last 24 hours or so, you know, about some of the things that it made me going. And all season, you know, we've been hearing, like, you know, got crazy stories, you know, about, you know, the players having to sit round the table, so in a circular table, so, you know, it encourages conversation, and he's got some crazy system about who goes for dinner first, and and the more and more stuff that comes out, you just think, you know, is this guy for real?
Well, I don't know. I read an article in The Guardian, Daniel Taylor it was, and he was talking about some of the things that Louis Van Gaal's done, and one of them was very early on. He said, look, if you're a striker and you're in the box, you take a touch before you take a shot. And I think it was in the first game of the season, Wayne Rooney ended up taking a touch, and then basically, the defender got in, and he was walking away sheepishly, like, I should have scored that, and I could have scored that, but I'm trying to do what the manager said.
Well, and we had heard that earlier on in the season, and I thought, that can't be true. And then, a few games in, you look in and you're thinking, hang on, some of these players are taking a couple more touches than maybe that they should do. And
another one, the wingers have been told, don't go round your man. Wait for backup from the fullbacks, which kind of makes sense as why Valencia's now a fullback, even more so. I know Ferguson started it and stuff, but when you want your fullbacks to be the guy going on, you want them whipping the ball in. It's just not Manchester United, is it, Ped? I mean, Manchester United that we know.
Do you know what as well, though? What you're saying there about the manager? I think loads of football fans think players just go on the pitch and do what they want, or why don't players? They can't. We've had it at our club this season as well. The players should just take over on the pitch. They're not allowed to. They're employees. They train all week on a certain style, and if they get out there and do something completely different, they'll suddenly find themselves out the team and even worse, maybe out the club.
Well, that's apparently what's happened with Memphis.
Well, there you
and
go.
that's why Fellaini is the one who's playing all the time, because he listens to the manager.
Someone like Fellaini walking in, go, yes, boss, I will say everything you tell me to do.
Yes, man.
You know what I mean? It's not even like yes, man. It's more to do with players who are thinking about their careers and thinking, I play for Manchester United, and what you do have with Manchester United, what we've been brought up with is this free-flowing attacking football that almost looks like it's off the cuff, but I bet you it wasn't. I bet you was working on it every single day, and that's stifling. And to be honest, some of the things you just said there, like round the table, encouraging talking, I don't mind stuff like that. I like stuff like that. I think
put your phones away while you're eating lunch.
Take your earphones off.
Works for managers as well.
Yeah, take your earphones off and all that kind of thing. But when managers are trying to take the natural instincts, and I say this from a very personal point of view because of what I've watched this season, when it takes away from actually the team developing into a better side, I think you're on an iron to nothing, and then you will lose the dressing room, and ultimately you will be sacked because you cannot sack 20 professional footballers.
The thing was, there was talk earlier on in the season about Van Gaal losing the dressing room, but then every time he needed a result, he'd manage to pull it out of the bag, and then we'd kind of go this downward trajectory again, and then
get up.
And I know we had Carrick and Rooney apparently going and voicing their concerns to Van Gaal about his tactics and certain things that the whole team weren't happy with.
It's mad, isn't it? Because one of those conspiracy theories was this phone thing, wasn't it? I mean, he used to get them into a room and slate them all together after a match, apparently. But secondly, what he did is Rooney and Carrick went into him and said, look, we're not having that. It's not good for team morale and stuff. He ended up sending them emails. He was tracking their emails to see how long he'd opened it for. And the players ended up playing cat and mouse with them and were leaving the phone with the email open while they went about the day and stuff like that. But when that type of things happened at a football club, you've got to get rid of the manager. I think you can't have a mutiny, especially not at Manchester United. Of course, let me know in the comments section what you think of the sacking. Has he been treated fairly? Let us know in there, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to United People's TV, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to Ball Seat for more Social Club videos.